So this is the outcome of a decades-long wetland restoration project. It actually started in the mid-90s when the RCD worked with the farmer to put a conservation easement on these 120 acres. The RCD actually acquired the property in 2015 and engineered design plans to remove fish passage barrier, reconnect 40 acres of emergent wetland floodplain, and restore coastal dune upland habitat. Imagine 30 feet in front of you was this earthen levee. The removal of these levees and the whole restoration project was the first time that this system accessed this whole floodplain.
My name is Linda Chipping. I am a director on the board for the Coastal San Luis RCD. The bay, there's always been a need to try to keep it a very productive aquatic nursery. It is a very valuable part of our coast. A number of the programs that were carried out by the RCD were designed to capture sediment to keep it from entering the bay.
We're going to continue walking down this road. We'll be doing a deep water crossing there. And then we can go up and see the native upland coastal dune habitat restoration. So we have several locations around the property where we've hung up trail cameras in the past. And there's one particular location that's almost like the equivalent of a watering hole in the savanna. Every species you can imagine kind of crosses that path or stops to forage or drink. And so recently, like earlier in the summer, there was a female mountain lion, and then hours later, a male mountain lion crossed that same area, and we caught the footage, which was really remarkable. The RCD acquired the property with the intention of restoring wetland and floodplain habitat. Since 1850, 90% of California's coastal wetlands have been destroyed as a result of agriculture, development, and industry. After the storms in 2023, we toured a ranch in the upper Los Osos Creek watershed, where a farmer had lost a huge section of creek bank. And so that was the critical functionality of the wetland restoration, was allowing the flows to slow and spread and capture that sediment from upstream. And that's the balance between agriculture and wetlands. You know, there's a role for both, but wetlands are really critical to balancing the agricultural impacts. There's more value to 120 acres of really intact and functional wetland as opposed to periodically flooded ag land. Earlier, we were in the lowlands part of the wetland where the confluence of the two streams created this alluvial floodplain. Here, we're on this upland area, which is actually an old sand dune. If you dig down kind of below the surface is baywood fine sands. The vegetation community really changes when you get up here because of the change in soil. And it is habitat for the Moro manzanita, which is a federally endangered species. And so working with state parks, we were able to have a successful outplanting of Moro manzanita. And we were kind of worried they didn't take off for a couple of years, but now they're so happy. Reintroducing and supporting the native species that are here ties into different species of animals that live here too.
The benefits to wildlife make themselves seen when we see either the cougar or the bobcat prints in the mud like we just did coming in, watching these ducks using it and utilizing it and finding a place that's safe for them. When it was in agriculture, that was not happening, and there was no cover for wildlife at all. And now it's a reestablished home for them.
Without the sustained support of our partners and funders, projects like these wouldn't be possible. The State Coastal Conservancy provided almost $1 million in funding. Other key funders include the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Morro Bay National Estuary Program, and the Wildlife Conservation Board. NRCS and the California Conservation Corps have also contributed critical staff time, resources, and technical assistance towards the success of this project.